We've got updated news on the Game of Thrones spinoff, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We're going to get into what that news is right now. House of the Dragon's been a big hit. We got season 2 coming out June 16th, and we've got another greenlit series spinoff within the world of Westeros from George R. R. Martin, and it is the Hedge Knight novellas, Dunk and Egg, which is going to be titled A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and we now have some news around that. And it is that we have a director that's going to be directing episodes, and it is none other than British filmmaker Harry Bradbeer. And so one of the things that jumps out at me, and I want to get your thoughts, because I don't know which of these you've seen, but I think this is going to go to what the tone of Night of the Seven Kingdoms is based on Harry Bradbeer's experience. But the British director has worked on projects like Fleabag with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who was in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, that movie that bombed. And she also played a droid in the Solo movie that fell in love with Lando Calrissian, which was really cringe. And then we also have other projects that Harry Bradbeer has directed, like Killing Eve, which won a lot of awards and was very well received. And then Enola Holmes and Enola Holmes 2, which starred Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill. So the one thing that I see a commonality around the content and the stories that Harry Bradbeer has directed, films and series, is that the comedy aspect, lighthearted comedy. You certainly can achieve that lighthearted tone with Dunk and Egg if you choose to. But I'm a little concerned that this type of director maybe he's not a fit for what they're going to be doing here. That being said, maybe they are going for there's going to be no dragons. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a tale of, a protector and a young kid.
So smaller, more focused.
Absolutely.
Story. Yeah.
And it could mean shorter episodes. We don't really know yet the way that the episodes are going to break down per season. And we also have the fact that George R. R. Martin has not finished the stories of Dunk and Egg. So we know in the history of Westeros where they both end up ultimately later on down the line. But we don't know how they got there. So we have a beginning part of the stories, but again, it's something else he hasn't finished. And so, this being the director, I will say that the writing team is really strong on this. So you've got Ira Parker from House of the Dragon. Actually, Ira Parker is the showrunner. And then you've got George R. R. Martin, who is obviously created this world that's involved with it. That's a good sign. Then you have Annie Julia Wyman, according to Redanian Intelligence, who worked on Tokyo Vice and The Chair. Aziza Barnes from Snowfall, and Hiram Martinez from Snowfall. So you've got a good writing team and a good showrunner, and Ira Parker. The director, though, that concerns me a little bit. I mean, how do you feel about if this show comes out and it's more of a lighter tone? It doesn't have some of the violence and some of the major beats that we've seen on Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon continued that.
I mean, it's hard for me to tell how. I mean, I'd have to see a trailer and the cast and everything.
Yeah, they've got to get moving on all this, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Whenever you see things with the Game of Thrones name on it, when it's part of that universe. Yeah, and you get excited for it because it's a great universe. But, it could get to the point where they start milking it. And they start.
And this is going to be a critical inflection point. For we know House of the Dragon's a success. I think season 2 is going to kill it.
You can have too much of a good thing, though.
Yeah, leave them wanting more. And so this is going to be an interesting test bed of, can they make this work? Is it smart to go and have a different tone? We do know that this makes sense for them bringing in the director because they're trying to start filming on this in June of 2024 so that they can release A Night of the Seven Kingdoms in between House of the Dragon Season 2, which comes out June 16th, and House of the Dragon Season 3, which one would believe would be 2026. So you're putting the pieces together. You would be getting Game of Thrones content each year on Max. That's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so to keep the fans whetting the appetite. But wanted to bring to you that we don't know yet, Harry Bradbeer, how many episodes Harry Bradbeer is going to be directing, nor do we know how many episodes Night of the Seven Kingdoms Season 1 is going to have. So when we find that out, we'll bring that to you. But we wanted to at least bring you the news. Give credit to Redanian Intelligence, a great site for news, not just around Game of Thrones, but also The Witcher and other medieval fantasy and sci-fi content. Let us know what you think. Are you excited about Night of the Seven Kingdoms? What do you think about the director and some of the work that they've done in the past? While you're doing that, make sure to smash that like button, hit the notifications bell for future content, and most importantly, hit subscribe so we can continue to grow our channel and TCB.